and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about focused show and me. I don't know if that could ever happen. But hey, you know something? We'll continue to give it a shot. But in any event, we have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guests and repeat offenders, both of them. Samantha Rawley is with us. Welcome.
Good morning.
Mary Walters is with us. Welcome.
Good morning.
Both ladies from Realty Pro 100. They bring a different point of view than what I have because you can probably tell if you're watching us on Ron Siegel Radio, they are significantly younger. And you know something, I'm an old guy, so I just bring the old man point of view. So we like to get a different perspective, but let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money. I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day. I don't want to cause any trouble today, but today is National Beans and Franks Day. We have not had any because we are sitting in a small studio. It would not be pleasant. And it is also National French Fry Day. Sorry about that. You never know where we're going.
It's Monday.
It's Monday. I hate to go. It's also National French Fry Day. So beans, franks, and French fries.
I prefer that one.
Okay.
Same.
We'll go any way you guys want to go. It's pretty simple here. We just look at the prompter, see what it says, and I kind of ad-lib from there. As I said, we have a very focused show. Moving right along, let's take a look at what the markets are doing. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 411 points. S&P up 4241. NASDAQ is always up 189 points today. Oil down 2 cents. But let's take a look and see the NASDAQ being up. I wonder why the NASDAQ is up. Oh, yeah. They've got Tesla in the NASDAQ. That's a biggie. Have you been watching Tesla? There's no logical reason here. Apple's up 14 today. Tesla, are you ready for this one? Tesla is up $195 a share today. $195. Now think about this. When the market tanked right after we shut down the entire economy, Tesla went to $430 a share. And as I chat with you right now, it is $1,740 a share. Do you think they've had that many great sales since the pandemic? Is there any logic for it being that high? And I can understand Amazon being up 111 points. That almost makes sense to me because a lot of us are shopping while we're home. I did hear a report this morning that a lot of us are drinking more. So if you are drinking more and shopping more, that can be a good sign for Amazon. I just throw that out there. I'm not sure if that's any correlation right there. But we do watch it for you anyway. Let's take a look and see what the bonds are doing. U.S. 10-year Treasury is pretty flat. So that one's at a whopping 0.642. So we've watched that one for you. Again, no excitement there, but as I mentioned on the end of last week, the bond market is telling us that we should be seeing some better interest rates in the mortgage market. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's see what else was going on. Hard to believe this one. They finally gave in to the mob. Yes, indeed. The Washington, what would you call them now? Because they're not the Redskins anymore. They don't have a name anymore. So what are we supposed to call them? The Washington ex-Redskin. I think, again, I am old. I remember this. When Prince got rid of his name, so he called him the artist formerly known as Prince. Do we call the Redskins the team formerly known as the Redskins? Would that be the way we would describe them? I'm not a big fan of giving in to the mob. I did place my first order over the weekend for Goya products. I don't know if you haven't followed that Goya story. It's a fascinating story. And to me, you get the mob, and every once in a while, the mob goes out there and they say, we're going to boycott. And then you get the people like me who say, something, and there's a lot of us that go out there and say, something, we're going to show you what we think of your boycott. So being that I am a little bit, couch-bound, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a big fan of going shopping ever. So I went on the handy-dandy Walmart.com app and looked up all Goya products. And Walmart is out of almost everything that's Goya, which I think is great. Right? Do you remember when the mob tried this with Chick-fil-A? They said because of the owner's beliefs, and he came out with his own personal beliefs, we're going to boycott Chick-fil-A. Well, I tried going to Chick-fil-A that day, and the line was the drive-through, obviously, because I didn't get out of the car. But the line was all the way around the building. Right? You couldn't get in. It was their best sales ever. And now Goya is the same way. I don't buy anything that I can possibly help from Nike just because of their issues. I canceled my DirecTV NFL Sunday ticket. That way they can sit all they want on the game. I don't watch football for politics. If I want to watch politics, I'll go to a political station. I have no desire to see what everyone else's politics are all the time. But, hey, it's their right. And we get to have our right to have a say as well with our wallet. So if you haven't done that, if you are so inclined, just a thought process. And obviously you can tell that NFL is not a sponsor of Ron Siegel Radio, but that's just the way it is. I'd say it anyway. Hey, did you follow any of the news over the weekend? Late Friday, we saw Roger Stone getting his sentence being commuted. And you listen to the mob, and they come out and they say, well, this is the greatest travesty ever. Except one of the biggest tax cheats in American history was Mark Rich acquitted, not commuted by President Clinton. Think about that one. But hey, we don't want to talk about that. It's not the comment du jour right now. Just fascinating where the mob goes with some of these things. And you listen to Chicken Schiff out here in Los Angeles. Obviously, I am not a fan of the chairman of the Lack of Intelligence Committee. He doesn't have any idea of what's going on either, because he was one of the people that wanted to make this commentary about the commutation of Stone's sentence. I wonder what happened to the idea that in this country, the wrath of the poison fruit is poisonous. And if you don't understand that, it's basically when you go and they have a search warrant, which was done on illegal grounds, which most of the Mueller case was, anything that comes from that is thrown out of court. But not under the Trump administration. The rules of law don't seem to apply. And obviously, Robert Mueller had to come out there and get his op-ed out and talk about trying to protect his legacy. I don't know if there is much of a legacy anymore, but he wants to try and keep that going. Unbelievable watching some of these things. It just baffles me how many things people can look at complaining about nowadays. I did get a picture. I don't know if I'm going to be able to share it with you today. I'm going to try and share it. But, before we get to that, I gotta share this one. Just, my mind goes on rabbit trails. Right, have you heard about all the crime going on in New York? Well, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has the answer as to why this is all going on. People are out there killing one another because they need bread. They don't have enough food. I don't get it, but that's what she had to say. And I had some people telling me what a genius this lady is. Unbelievable. Amazing. Hey, I did hear this, and I will share this with you from my words eye view before we go to our break. This is just in breaking news coming in from Chicago. I know there it is. They have replaced their sirens in Chicago with the national anthem. They figure that way it'll force all suspects to stop running and take a knee. I just throw that out there.
I got a bad feeling about this.
And I can't even hit the right button on here. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got a great broadcast for you. We've got our monthly market report. There's some information in this report that nobody is talking about. Buyers, are you ready for bidding wars? We'll talk about that. And how to start building credit once you turn 18. It's a little late for me. But we will talk about all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. Again, 800-306-1990. Hey, how about you first-time home buyers looking for a house, tired of renting? There is an opportunity for you. You are able to just get that house from our team at Siegel Lending Team and our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. They've got up to $25,000 to help you buy that first home. It is down payment assistance. The interest rates are spectacular. How about as low as 2.75 on that fixed rate loan? We'll see. But that is just various numbers. You got to qualify for it. And there's all the other legalese that I'm supposed to tell you about. But when you call the team, they'll give you that information. Hey, let's take a look at what the markets are doing again for you as we get into the Mortgage Minute. We're looking at, once again, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up. It is always up, it seems anymore. What's going to happen the third day that it goes down in a row? There's going to be a lot of people crying because right now people think you throw a dart at the market and that's basically all it takes. You can find a stock that's going to go up like it is on Tesla. One day the market's going to take a dump on Tesla and it's going to go down 1,000 points and their head's going to be spinning. The Dow Jones up 395, NASDAQ up 183. S&P 500 up 41. Mortgage-backed securities. Now, here's the one that you have to really be careful of because it's telling us that the bond itself is down 16 basis points. Which means rates are up, and they are not. But hey, here's the information that a lot of people could be trading on. If you are a fan of CNBC, which I am not, Diana Olick. And I've said this many, many times, the next time she comes up with something accurate in real estate, it will also be the first time she comes up with something accurate in real estate. Never gets it right. She uses a source called Atom, and they're back it again. They've been wrong, and they've been saying this. For the last 9 years, they've been telling people, do not buy real estate, do not buy your own primary residence, go out and rent. For the last 9 years, they've been saying the same thing, and they're out there again saying that now is not the time to be buying real estate. Now, can you imagine somebody being out there, and it's just, again, notoriously negative on housing, been saying to not buy a home for years. They just released a study on 483 counties and measured their vulnerability to the coronavirus impact. Really? The majority are along the East Coast, but just remember this is coming from, again, Atom Research. Now, how could you be, even coronavirus, okay, now, I mean, what are we at, a mortality rate of under 1%, and they're saying 483 counties. Now, only a nerd like me would know there are 3,007 counties in the United States, and 483 of them are vulnerable to coronavirus impact. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But again, that's what else is driving the market. Pfizer and BioNTech granted fast-track status for their COVID-19 vaccine. Both Pfizer and BioNTech said they expect to start the next step of the trial later this month with 30,000 subjects, which is significant because when Pfizer got their approval, they were using information on 45 subjects. No, not 450, not 45,000. Not 450,000, 45. I don't know how that works. I am not smart enough in science. I can't even spell it. But that was the number. This week, Consumer Price Index comes out, mortgage applications, initial jobless claims, housing starts, all that and more. You can reach me anytime again, 800-306. That is the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. And I didn't even put up their banner this morning, which I should have. But that, as we say at Ron Siegel Radio,
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So let's take a look. We're going to talk to the ladies this morning. We're talking about the July market report. We believe in keeping current. We want you to keep current. So we look at the report, and first thing we can talk about is the jobs report from June. So, and I guess I should introduce the ladies because we haven't done that in about 12 minutes. So Mary Walters, Samantha Rawley, Realty Pro 100 are with us to help educate us on the millennial point of view so some of us old people can understand what's going on. 4.8 million jobs added. Are you guys hearing about a lot of people going back to work? Are the people wanting to go back to work? Are they still because we hear a lot of places people are happy about the extra $600 a month. What do you two hear?
I hear yes, they were, but now that it's supposed to be ending in July, there's a lot of people scrambling trying to figure out what they're about to do with that extra money gone.
They might have to get a job.
Right?
What a concept!
Right? I mean, it just baffles me how people can really just think that that's going to be a solution. Now, Mary, what is your title?
I am the Chief Operating Officer here at Realty Pro 100.
Okay, so you might be looking at hiring people from time to time. Would you be more inclined to hire somebody when there's 1 million people out there looking for a job, or when there's a handful of people? Right now, there's more people. There's, the people that are out there right now have more desire. Wouldn't you? Doesn't that make sense? And as in management, you really want the person that wants to work, as opposed to somebody that's just doing it because they don't really care about their job.
Exactly.
A little more integrity, I think. Just can't hear you shake your head on radio. Just throw that in there.
It's Monday.
It's Monday. It's a long weekend, obviously. We don't want to cause any trouble here, but we do have a problem. So you shouldn't be doing that. 4.8 million jobs. We look at the areas that people went back to work. That one's a fascinating one to me as well, right? And we talked about this last month, that we thought that this was going to happen, because we had mentioned the idea that there was going to be a lot of people that were going to say they really wanted to work, they just couldn't.
Yes.
Right? Now we look at the number one area where people went back to work.
Leisure and hospitality.
Right? And that's almost, I'm a little slow in math. I'm a simple guy, but that's almost half the jobs.
Yep.
Right? 2.1 million added, 2.1 million in just that one sector, and 4.8 million jobs added. Now, a lot of that could have been the restaurants and the bars and things like that, because that's where we get leisure and hospitality. Some of those might be closing down a little bit now. But then we can also look at retail, right? So the two biggest areas of the whole growth were those areas. And it fascinated me. I don't know what your takeaway was from this.
Well, it's only going to keep growing in both of those categories as things start opening up even more. I mean, I was in Vegas this past weekend, actually. So
now we know.
I know, now you know. Full circle. Yes. So even the hotels there, it's obvious that they're not fully staffed yet.
Oh, really?
That's what it seemed like to me.
Okay. So they're going to still be hiring, so we should see a decent job. What about the guests? Were there a lot of people there?
It wasn't overly crowded, but there was a decent amount of people there. Yes.
Okay, so they weren't. And did they have an adequate staff?
Yeah, there was definitely enough to take care of everything, but it seemed like, I mean, even just the bars were closed down in all the hotels. The little marketplace.
I didn't go to Vegas without have a bar.
I know, in the actual hotel we were staying at, like the little marketplace that they have to get little snacks, stuff like that was all closed down. So it seemed obvious that not the entire staff was there and up and running.
Okay, so they're going to have to be adding some more people, and that could get good news for the jobs world, right? And that's going to be helping us in the real estate world as well. Looking at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, let's go to the Wall Street Journal. And we promised that we would not ask Samantha to read these today, and I won't go into why. But the U.S. job growth surged last month, underscoring the economy's capacity for a quick rebound if businesses continue to reopen and consumers regain confidence. Recent coronavirus spike, however, could undermine trends captured in the latest jobs report. It's all according to the Wall Street Journal. Now, we had this conversation. I enjoy the idea of having family dinner at our house on Sunday nights and chatting a little bit. And you two might be a great resource for this conversation, and that has to do with the coronavirus. We're hearing a lot about the young people's feeling of invincibility. Do you see that, hear that, act that? Tell me your thoughts about that.
I'll let you answer that one.
Well, I kind of have a different, I would say that I'm like a typical millennial going out there and being like, I'm not going to get it. Whereas my mom is like, as soon as we get in the car, it's like hand sanitizer, baby wipes, all this stuff. And I'm like, it's fine. Like, we're fine. But I think Mary and I, I can speak on our viewpoint is that, I don't know. I mean, if we get it, we get it. But like what I'm hearing is that people that are getting it are recovering, or they're just asymptomatic and they just like lose their sense of taste or smell. So I don't know.
What's happening short term?
Yeah.
So you think based on you and the millennial perspective more, not necessarily your own point of views, but millennial perspective is that people are going to get back at it and get to living life again sooner rather than later.
Right. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that people are getting it and dying from it, and it is a serious virus. But yes, I can speak on that. I'm a little bit invincible, and I'll go out there still, and I'll go shopping, and I'll wear my mask respectfully. But I mean, I just have the attitude: if I get it, I get it. Of course, I don't want it, but if it happens, it happens, and
which is great. That's exactly what I want to. That's why I love you guys coming in here and sharing, because it is that different perspective, and not right, not wrong, right? It's just a different perspective, and we need to understand that, because if we're going to be wanting to sell anything, real estate, cars, shirts, computers, you have to know what's happening in the marketplace. Who are you going to be talking to? There's certain parts. First-time home buyers are generally not going to be the 75-year-old couple, right? That's on their 50th anniversary, right? So we need to understand that, okay, if we're going to be promoting the idea of that down payment assistance program or something like that, we need to know what the millennials are thinking. That's why we love to share this information all the time. Now, here's another one. Of all active forbearances which are past due on their mortgage payments, 77% have at least 20% equity in their home. What do you think? Are you hearing a lot about forbearances and foreclosures?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're hearing a lot about that.
Yes, from everything we've heard, I mean, with the amount of forbearances, I think a lot of them haven't gone into foreclosure yet, but I think there's a wave of that coming. And that's a really scary number to me, that there's a lot to lose right there for those people.
So, and that's where we're going to take a break there, because there's a lot to lose, or is there? We're going to talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, is there a lot to lose in foreclosure and the forbearances? We'll talk about it. Maybe there's a solution. Buyers, are you ready for a bidding war? How to start building your credit once you turn 18, all that and more? You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. In the real-time real estate segment today, being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest, SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. SLT Home Digest, 79564. Buyers, are you ready for a bidding war? I know you think you're going to get a bargain because everything is shut down, everything is locked down, no one's buying real estate. But with businesses reopening throughout the country and some experts indicating, easy for me to say, early signs of a much anticipated economic recovery, more home buyers are actively entering the housing market this summer. Today, housing is truly driving the U.S. economy forward. With so many buyers looking for homes to purchase and so few houses for sale right now, there's a disconnect between supply and demand. This imbalance is pushing home prices upward while driving more bidding wars and multiple offer scenarios. Danielle Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com, explains, I quote, "People are surprised that prices are rising, not falling, because in the last recession, home prices fell. The difference this time is the severe shortage of homes for sale. We're seeing bigger price increases with a limited number of homes that is likely to lead to more competition and potentially multiple offers and bidding wars," unquote, according to the recent Realtors Confidence Index, RCI survey conducted by the National Association of Realtors. This trend is growing, and I quote, on average. There were about 3 offers on a home that closed in May, up from just about 2 in April 2020. And in May 2019, 2.3 offers. Housing Wire indicates, quote, 42% of home buyers who made a purchase during the January to May time period ended up in a bidding war, demonstrating the strong demand for homes amid low inventory. With more people returning to work, we'll continue to see the number of interested buyers increase. So if you're among the many people looking for a home to buy this summer, it's important to ensure you have the right guidance from the start. This way you make your offers stand out from the crowd when it really counts. 2 tips to follow. Number 1, hire a trusted local expert. I've told you that many, many times. About 10 years now I've been going on telling people that on radio. Number 2, get pre-approved for that mortgage. Bottom line, if this is the year you're ready to buy, let's connect and get the process started so you can make sure your offer is a strong one when the competition heats up. And again, don't try and lowball offers right now. Probably not in your best interest. That's the real-time real estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. We are continuing our conversation. The ladies from Realty Pro 100 are with us this morning, chatting about the market, keeping it current, keeping matters current. I should always mention my friend Steve Harney at Keeping Current Matters. Does a lot of great information and shares that with the professionals in the community. So we act like we know what we're talking about. I should say me. I mean, it's just an act. Don't go too far. But in the last segment, if you missed it, shame on you. But we started talking about the forbearances, which are past due on their mortgage payment at 77%. have at least 20% equity in their property. And Mary quite rightly said that these people have a lot to lose. But I bet you have a solution for them, right? I mean, before you ever get into that foreclosure process, if you have that much equity, you could probably call a professional and sell that property, right?
100%.
So if somebody has a lot of equity, they're having trouble making their payments, tell me what your guidance would be.
To sit down with a professional and see what options are in front of you and how you can get yourself out of the situation you put yourself in.
So do you deal with investors?
We do.
So those investors could probably come in and make the problem go away pretty quick.
Correct. And we have, a handful of investors who are standing by at any moment that we have here in the office that will step in and, buy a property if it's worth it to them.
Now, are they looking to buy it or steal it?
Buy it.
Okay. Because there are people like me that are out there that are just numbers people, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't really even need to go look at a piece of property. I just throw it into a formula. If the number works, it's a project. Mm-hmm. If the number doesn't work, I go to the next one.
Exactly.
But you've got people that are actually looking at, they want a deal if they're going to take on somebody else's problem, but they're also going to be fair.
Yeah, but like you said, they just have to make sure the numbers work for them.
Okay. So how does that look if I'm trying to talk if somebody's listening right now and they're sitting there and they went and they got the CARES Act forbearance. Mm-hmm. They know that they're probably in their 4th month right now, somewhere in 1 to 4 months, mm-hmm. right? They know that they got that automatic 6-month forbearance and they've got a hardship additional 6 that they can get. Mm-hmm. And if you're 12 months behind on your mortgage, the likelihood of coming back and repaying it is
not very good.
Slim and none, right? So we need to make a call one of you two, and we'll find out. You can put us in touch with the right people. Mm-hmm. And then what happens? I mean, are they going to come and want to stage the house? Are they going to want to just give us an offer on the house? Are they going to want to list the house? Give me an idea of how this whole process is going to work from there.
Well, I mean, again, it really depends on the situation, but if it's something that they just want out quickly and we have the right investor to come in and, help them, it really doesn't have to be any of the, big old lead up of staging and showings and this and that. It's not going to be the normal process.
Okay. And so do I have to go, is it either or can we try it for a month or two on a retail basis and then go to an investor? Or is that not something you would suggest?
You could if that's what they wanted, but again, you're coming up on those, 6 months and everything. So again, It's situational.
It's all situational. It's all based on what they're coming up with. Black Knight comes out and they tell us the high level of equity provides options for homeowners, policymakers, mortgage investors, and servicers in helping to avoid downstream foreclosure activity and default-related losses. Now, if I'm in foreclosure, I basically have the opportunity, if I call you and we can put together a transaction, do I get to save some of that equity?
Possibly.
Right, so it's not like the equity is going to go back to the bank, or they're just going to get paid a normal, their lien satisfaction. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. 87% of home sellers are concerned their home won't sell because of the pandemic and resulting economic recession. Do you think our homes not selling, or are they selling?
Oh, they're selling.
Are they?
Yeah, there's still a lack of inventory out there.
Okay. Samantha, you says it's fast too?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm searching. I'm in the home buying process and just looking right now. But I mean, there's like nothing out there, especially in my price point, which is like a first-time home buyer price point. I mean, if there is something out there, it goes within like a day or two. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing what I've been seeing lately just from leading the lending team. I mean, we've had properties go into contract every day recently, but it's the people that have been looking. You can't get discouraged right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, and it's easy to get discouraged, right?
Absolutely.
Right, so the first-time home buyers are out there. They're hunting. So 372,000 homes sold last month in the U.S. Contemplate that number: 372,000 homes. Is my math right? That's about 1,000 a day. No, it's not. It's more than that. A lot more than that. My math is wrong, and I'm not going to even try and do it. Right. So the houses are selling. So here's the option. Here's the issue that I'm going to throw out there. About 12,000 a day. It's normally the way it is. About 12,000. So nobody ever talks about this scenario, right? So if somebody has a house on the market that hasn't sold, would it be fair to say that we had an election and 12,400 people voted every day that there's something wrong with that house?
Yep.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
Right?
the way to look at it.
So it goes back to the scenario, talk to a professional and get it priced properly.
Yes.
Right? So, and Samantha, you mentioned that already, that houses are selling very quick. When you're talking about quick, are they doing multiple offers? Or because we talked about that in the one of these earlier segments, I think, or maybe I was hallucinating.
Yes.
Right? That multiple offers? Who does that benefit? Does that benefit the buyer or the seller?
Seller.
Seller. So they're able to get more money.
Of course.
And what about the contingencies when you have that multiple offer? Do they have more contingencies, less contingencies?
It's going to be less.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's more competition.
Yeah, exactly. So we had an agent who took a listing. I believe it went live on Friday afternoon. The update he gave yesterday, I think they already had like 20, 30 showings scheduled, 6 offers on hand, 2 of which they hadn't even seen the property yet. And there was another 4 more promised offers to come. And that was just over about a 48-hour period.
And was the property priced way under market, at market, above market?
Just at market.
At market. So it wasn't like they're going through and they're just trying to lowball it to see what comes in. They're just putting it at market and they're getting all kinds of offers. Now, we hear people say, well, that can't happen because nobody's out there shopping. They're not doing open houses. So how are people, so you said 2 of them hadn't seen it. And so, and you had how many offers?
I think there was 6 in hand and 4 more coming.
So out of that, 8 people have seen it. How are they, what's the process now for seeing a property?
So you have to have an appointment. The sellers can't be there. Everything has to be, I think there's a maximum of 2 people allowed in the home at a time with the agent.
Correct.
But for the people who didn't see it, this specific property, has amazing photos, has a virtual tour, which is really helpful for those who don't feel comfortable going out and seeing the property.
So again, that goes back to the concept. There's 2 things that I'm taking away from what Mary just said. Number 1, you have to have a great internet process or be there somewhere or process of listing your property, of offering the property, and professional picturing. Professional pictures don't. My favorite is the one where you stand in the corner and take a picture of the other corner. Right? Doesn't that make you just feel real warm about spending $500,000? We're going to talk about showings in North America. We've got some stats for you going back to the beginning of January of the current year. We're going to talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. We're going to also talk about, I think I came up with a story or saw a story about building credit once you turn 18. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And again, if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990, the Your Credit Matters segment today. Being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. How to start building credit once you turn 18. Interesting information there because a lot of people don't think about starting it, but you have to, number one, here's the issue. And I've mentioned this many times on Ron Siegel Radio. The schools do a pitiful job teaching anything that has to do with finance, credit, any of that. Did you two find that Did you find that accurate?
Yes.
Yes. When I was 18, I had no credit. And then I had the hardest time getting any sort of credit and didn't get my first credit card. I had to do like one of those prepaid credit cards when I was like 22. Because if you don't do it right when you're 18,
right,
you totally screw yourself over.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
apparently you're trustworthy when you're 18, but when you're 22, you're not.
Right. You probably had a job and making more money and all those things that are responsible.
Had paid cash for everything up to that point because I didn't need credit, and then not trustworthy at 22.
Yeah. So the first thing is to understand the basics of credit. That's why we've been asked to join the Society of Financial Awareness to do seminars on that issue because most people don't know it. I will share that, being that my son doesn't listen to the broadcast ever, I can actually share the fact that when he was, the same thing that you're saying, Mary. So when he was in high school, he went to a local private school. And he came in to me and he said, Dad, I need a check for something. I think it was a football program or whatever. And I said, you write the check, I'll sign it. And he turns to me and says, I don't know how to write a check, Dad. Senior in high school, right? They never talked about any of that stuff, right? So we do a pitiful job in our schools for that. Second, number two, you could become an authorized user on a credit card. That way, if somebody trusts you, they can let you use their credit card. You can get on there and develop some scores. Get a starter card. There are many unsecured cards out there that you can get starter credit cards from. Get some secured credit cards. Mary was just talking about that one. Remember, when you get started, do it right from the beginning. Make your payments on time. I've told you 2 payments every month, every credit card. If you don't know that story, give me a call, 800-306-1990. Could increase your credit score by 40 to 80 points just by making 2 payments at the right time every single month. Maintain a low credit card balance. Number 1, 2, you might get a loan, Monitor your credit reports. I love myfico.com. It's the only one that gives you a real, or the best one in my opinion, that gives you a real FICO score, not the FACO score that you get from most places. Keep it simple. Don't try to overdo it all at once. That is the idea there. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, again, brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer, they've got the solutions for you. So before the break, we were talking with the ladies about showings, and I find this information fascinating to me. How in January we can see that baseline number, and up until the world shut down in the beginning of March, that number was going up. We took a big drop, but now here we are in the middle of June, where the numbers are from. Obviously, we don't have this last weekend's numbers. This is from showing time. But when you look at this chart, pretty obvious that we've got more people out there looking for houses now than we had in January or at the height of the shopping in March.
Yep. Right.
Are you finding that? One of the things that I need your help with, right? I'm able to bring in all this national data. You ladies know more of what's going on local. Are you seeing this locally as well?
Yes.
Local is following through in the same area. Now, appointments used to be a lot easier just to show a property, right? Than it is now. Put a sign out in the middle of the street, and you got an open house or a big banner or something along those lines. Pretty simple. But now we're looking at even the West Coast. We're in the middle of the buyer viewing appointments, right? National average up 21.4%. The West Coast, we're a little behind that, 19.6. Market recovery, I'm not going to go into that. Pending sales, right? This is what we talked about, and I was fascinated to see CoreLogic said that they're expecting prices to drop in the next few months. Does that make sense to either of you?
No.
You're not seeing that on the street?
Not with the lack of demand.
Lack of supply.
Exactly. Still Monday.
Still Monday. And she's still got her mind in Vegas. Okay, we get it. So pending sales up 18.8% month over month. Are your stats showing that in your
Yes.
locally as well? New listings 5.2% up. Total listings are down 20.7% year over year. Not a lot of surprise there. New listings taken are down 16.6% year over year. Are you seeing the same locally?
Yes.
Now, and the other thing that we just got from Chapman University is the builders aren't building right now. So when builders aren't building, and we've got a lot of people out buying and no supply, maybe you can help me with this. How does CoreLogic say that prices are going to drop?
Not sure.
You're not seeing it locally. It doesn't make any sense to me. So we're going to try and figure out how that could possibly be. Home price expectation survey. They're telling us, and this goes, here's an issue that we can actually talk about with you two, because I'm guessing that the first real recession you two are going to remember, is it 2008?
Yes.
And so you probably saw the idea of people losing properties, property values taking major drops, depreciating prices. When we saw the economy shut down in March, did you have the foresight? And I know that you two are a little bit different just because you're in the industry and you're around a lot of people that have a lot of experience. But from your friends and people that you're talking with, did they expect that real estate was going to do the same thing again?
Yeah, and that's something I think we talked about even back then when we were on the show.
I was just going to say
that there were a lot of people just like, oh, we're waiting for that burst. Like, it's happening again. It's going to happen. Yep. And again, it goes back to us as professionals. We have to go out there and educate them that it's different.
Different, not quite the same this time.
Yeah, it's a different situation scenario.
Unbelievable how that is, and it's just a matter of history. People, they don't understand that. You got the perfect word there, Mary, is that it's all about educating. Right? I had a conversation with somebody over the weekend, and I said, I hate the idea of anybody thinking that we're salespeople, because nobody wants to be sold.
No.
Right? And again, I am not a shopper. I go to a store once every 10 or 12 years or something along those lines. But I went to when my wife worked at Nordstrom probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You walk into Nordstrom and they say, "Can I help you?" And you went there for a reason. What's the first answer everybody says?
No,
Nope.
okay.
No, I'm okay, or just looking.
Yeah.
Now, I went there, I don't shop, so I only go to buy. And I would say the same thing, just looking. But it's really what people don't want to be sold. Now, if you're going out there right now and telling people, Samantha, you can't be going out there and lowballing that property. If you're looking for a first home, you're not going to have success lowballing it. And here's the reasons why.
Right.
Because you don't want to be told that it's not going to work.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if Mary says to you, Samantha, look at this. We just had 14 offers on a property in 48 hours. You're smart enough to realize that, hey, something, there's something else going on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Got just a couple seconds left. I want you to tell me, one of you, whichever wants to, you got an event coming up.
We do.
Tell us about it.
Do you want to go into it? Okay, so here at Pro 100, we are really coming, wanting to be educators and educate the community and give back to the community. So what we're doing is we are trying to educate the community on what they can do with their equity. There is so much, quote unquote, dead equity that is just around our office here in North Orange County. I think we said there were about 53,000 homes that are either paid off or have less than $100,000. That's a lot of equity that's just sitting there. So what we want to do is teach people how to take that equity and put it to work for them to make money on that money.
And equity makes you absolutely zero every single time. So it's a great information that's coming up right here at the Realty Pro 100 offices. If you want more information, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I will put you in touch with the ladies. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and to Sean, who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.